I keep my goals to myself, cause whenever I share it with folks, they get a look upon their face and their memory floats to a time where their goals and the stars ain't...
WWE wasted no time in doing their spring cleaning, aka releases. They weren't playing. They did these releases during Smackdown, and they released 22 talent. So, yeah. And there were some pretty big names involved. And we'll talk about that for sure, because that's more interesting than SmackDown, because SmackDown was awful. The SmackDown after Mania was awful. It's not good. SmackDown is not good. SmackDown has not been good for about 2 years. And I'm being generous. It has not been good in about 2 years, basically. 2 years. Because it started going downhill in the middle part of 2024. So it's not been good since then. Right? But it is what it is. So let's talk about SmackDown first. And I'm not going to stay on SmackDown long because really nothing of any note happened outside of the call-ups that we got. Mariah May, Ricky Saints next week, and Fatal Influence, which they appeared on their show, which was great. So other than that, there's really not much to really talk about, really. Nothing occurred story-wise either, right? Outside of the whole Jacob Fatu stuff. So, it is what it is. But we're going to go ahead and get into SmackDown from April the 24th, 2026. So, we kick the show off with Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu comes out, gets a really good reaction. Jacob said that he told Roman on Monday he wanted him and he needs his title. He said he looked him in the eye and told him that he wasn't ready. So the fans booed at that. He said Roman's right. He said he's been hearing that his whole life from friends and family telling him he's not good enough or the time isn't right. He said he's keeping it 100. If Roman says he's not ready, then step to this ring and prove it. So the Usos, they show up. Jimmy said they heard him on Monday about how he wants to level up his house and put his kids through a better school and get that big money. Jimmy said that he agrees with him. He said all that and more. He can have all that and more with the OTC. He said Cody Rhodes went through hell at WrestleMania. He said QB went through hell and he's limping and he's ready to fumble. And then it'll be Jacob's ball. He said that he'll eat leaner and level up. That's the play that we're running. He told him not to listen to the fans and join the family. Jimmy said, none of these fools are going to give you the lifestyle you're asking for. So they're slowly but surely turning the Usos heel. Jay says it's too late because he stepped up and opened his mouth. And now he's in the deep end now. We're going to see if you can swim in the deep end. He told him to step up to Roman and look him in the eye and get ready for war. So that was good. I like that. Then Solo came out and he ruined everything. He said that the Usos are lying to Jacob. He reminded him of that when he brought him into a WWE. He asked Jacob, what are the Usos going to teach him? Are you going to teach him how to eat? He told him not to listen to him. Solo said if he wants to beat Roman and be champion, he should join him. he said he won't join Roman alone, and he'll need an army. Jacob said he has an army. So Tama Tonga yanked the mic out of Solo's hand. So Solo asked, Jacob asked, why are we wasting our time dealing with this? And he said he lost a lot. He thinks he can beat Roman since he can beat you. So then Jacob Fatu attacked Tama Tonga. A little brawl broke out, and then he ended up challenging Solo in the main event. Who cares about this shit at all? It doesn't matter. Again, this was fine until the MFTs got involved. And then shit went downhill fast. So there's that. All right. Moving on from that. This leads us into Julia and Kiana James. They had a backstage interview with Kathy Kelly about Julia's U.S. title match against Tiffany Stratton. So Julia says it's a SmackDown after WrestleMania, not WrestleMania. Kiana James said Julia saying that they were both upset about the lack of respect and not including them at WrestleMania. Kiana James said that she used her best negotiating skills as if Julia didn't believe and blamed her. James told Kathy Kelly that they don't bicker except when Kathy Kelly's around. Kathy Kelly said she thought she just caught a stray. Okay, whatever. Okay, that's fine, whatever. Moving on, this leads us to the first match of the night. Tiffany Stratton becomes the new women's U.S. champion. She defeats Julia. She wins via the prettiest moonsault ever, which is fine. It seems like they're going to end up breaking up Kiana James and Julia, which they kind of need to, honestly. I feel that, spoiler alert, we'll talk about it during the releases. Now that Kairi Sane is gone, I would love for them to incorporate Julia and having her as her new protege, basically. I think that would be great. And you do that. So that's what I would do. Again, it doesn't matter about the U.S. title. It is what it is. Where's Chelsea Green? We haven't seen her in about a month, and I'm worried about her. She very well could get cut as well, but I doubt it, though. But who cares about this, really and truthfully? What do you do going forward with Tiffany Stratton? I mean, she's U.S. champion once again, but does it really matter at the end of the day? No, it doesn't. And this match was very short. This was like 8 minutes, but whatever. Who cares? Moving on. This leads us into The Miz. So, Danhausen shows up at Miz's home. Nobody was there. So, he turned around. There was a camera inside filming Danhausen. The Miz yells for him to get out. Then Miz ignored the camera and walked around his house ignoring other invisible cameras. So Danhausen suddenly is in his pool. He went outside where another camera and everyone ignored him. Filmed him yelling at Danhausen. Danhausen said he found him by looking at a guide of houses of the stars. So Miz, he leaped at Danhausen, and Danhausen moved, and Miz fell into the pool. So that's fine. This is fine. It is what it is. Interesting. So cool stuff there. I like this. Again, I don't like Danhausen wrestling, but I am fine with Danhausen doing stuff like this on television. This is fine. And this is how Danhausen should be used. He should not be used as a wrestler. Right? He's a meme guy. He really is. He's a meme guy. So, there's that. Moving on. Tiffany Stratton, she gets interviewed by Kathy Kelly. She said that she's been the runner-up in big matches, but no longer. Tiffany said she feels great being the new U.S. champion again. And she's now going to show everyone why the WWE Universe runs on Tiffy time. So, there's that. And then Brie, Bella, and Paige, they showed up, got a pretty good reaction. Brie said when her sister wasn't cleared, she called on an old friend, Paige. She said, welcome back. Paige said it was an honor to wrestle so many great competitors, but now it's time to remind them why SmackDown is her house. So Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, they showed up, they interrupt, and they welcome Paige back. Charlotte proposed a match between them, and Brie accepts. Whatever. And this was for the women's tag team titles. And the match was basically a no contest because Fatal Influence showed up. They got a really good reaction. And they beat up both Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And the referee threw it out. Great stuff. I'm glad they're there. I figured they were going to SmackDown anyway. SmackDown needs help in the women's division desperately. And Fatal Influence is tremendous. I like all of them. Jessie Jane, Fallon Henley, and Laney Reed. Right? So I'm glad that they are there in that position. Moving on from that. This leads us into another video package for Royce Keys. He's with his family and friends talking about how they're proud of him. Royce Keys said that he has people depending on him and he can't let them down. Okay, that's fine. Cody Rhodes shows up, black eye and all. That's kind of a nasty little shiner. He said that he left WrestleMania battered and half conscious and bloodied. Yet he decided to walk up the ramp at the stadium, the long ramp at the stadium. Cody said he felt it was the job as WWE champion. He said he's always going back. He's always going to get back up. That's a superpower among all the newcomers. He said the moment you see him take the side ramp or the loser's lane, it means the run is over. He said he wanted to send a message at WrestleMania, and that he'd get stitches and staples and send a message to Randy Orton. He said Randy Orton's not here tonight. He said Randy Orton taught him that, my bad, Cody said everything Randy Orton taught him is that what it took to beat him. He said Orton gave him his best shot, a punt to the head, and he's still standing here. So Cody continued to yap on. He said he showed up at WrestleMania in all gold to show that he, his family, and his fans are all gold. He said that he's the most important. He said the most important message he wanted to send was the outside forces who got involved in his WrestleMania plans. He said they're 0-3. I mean, they're 0-3. So send your best or count your money and mind your own damn business. Okay, that's fine. He's talking about TKO. He said it's the first SmackDown after WrestleMania. He said he's holding the richest prize in the sport. He said it's easy to find him whether you're from Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. He said that he's there and he's easy to find and hard to beat. And then that was it. Okay, whatever. So he said nothing. I don't care about this. Like, I thought we were going to do Randy and Cody at Backlash again. Are we not doing that? What the fuck is going on? I have no idea. Moving on. Solo Sikoa tells the MFTs not to mess it up. I don't care about this at all. I really don't. Solo said that He plans to show him that without them, he can't beat Roman. So, whatever. Moving on, Damian Priest and R-Truth, they retained their tag team titles by defeating the MFTs. I don't care about this at all. I really don't. I do not care about this shit. Moving on. So, more Danhausen stuff. So, Danhausen hit Miz with a golf club. And then he walked off of one of his slammies. He complimented Maurice's wonderful home as he left. So Maurice showed up and had a stern words for Danhausen. Then Miz threw a bowl of dirt at Danhausen. He ducked, and then it hit Maurice. And then Danhausen saw Miz's Cybertruck and called it a spaceship, and then he took it away from Miz. That was hilarious. So I like that. So good stuff there. Moving on, this leads us into Trick Williams and Little Yachty and the Gingerbread Man. Trick said he thinks that the people are excited to celebrate with the new U.S. champion. They compare themselves to celebrities who had a talent and a leader behind them. Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, Mike Tyson, and Don King. Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan. Lil Yachty said they're done with open challenges, so no more handouts to jabronis. I like that, which is great. Trick said if you want a handout, find a clinic. I like that too. I'm like, damn. So Lil Yachty threw cash in the air. So, and then the Gingerbread Man ended up attacking both Lil Yachty and Trick Williams. It was revealed to be Sami Zayn, which we knew all along. And the fans booted this, so I guess they are going to basically kind of turn Sami Zayn heel. So this is fine. It is what it is. I imagine they're going to do the rematch at Backlash. So there's that. It's fine. Moving on. Royce Keys is backstage. He's admiring his Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy. So he had a backstage interview with Kathy Kelly. So Royce Keys says it's been an emotional debut for the past few weeks. He said that he's just getting started and he's taking everything he wants. So Solo Sikoa showed up again, and he said that Talatanga isn't happy with him, but he gave him the night off. And then Solo told Royce Keys there's always a place for one more member of his family. Man, fuck this shit. No. I do not want to see Royce Keys versus Solo Sikoa. Please, no. No. Moving on. This leads us into Danhausen versus The Miz. Danhausen defeats The Miz in some shenanigans, which I really didn't watch this match at all. It was just, nonsense, basically. So, there's that. Whatever. I don't care about this at all. I don't. Moving on, we got a Mariah May vignette. So she's coming soon, so she probably will be there in the next couple weeks. That's fine. So Rhea Ripley shows up. So Rhea said if anyone wants to challenge her, now it's your shot. So Fatal Influence showed up again. They got a bunch of boos. So JC Jane made fun of the crowd, basically. JC didn't really say much of anything. So her and Rhea, they came to blows. Well, before they come to blows, Rhea told JC Jane that she's a little bit too cocky. Jade Cargill wasn't even that cocky, basically. She said that she told JC Jane to take her shot. JC said she's always down for a fight. So Nick Aldis showed up and he basically made an impromptu match. So this leads us into JC Jane versus Rhea Ripley, and that ends up being thrown out again because Fatal Influence gets involved. And this was great. I like this. So they're kind of putting Jacy Jayne in the right spot, which is great. I like this. Again, you could put Fallon and Laney in the tag division as well. So this is fine. This is great. I love how they're using Fatal Influence. Why didn't they do this with Sol Ruka on Monday for Raw? Her match should have ended in DQ, but it is what it is. So that's fine. And post-match, Fatal Influence attacked Rhea some more after the bell. So there's that. Good stuff there. Moving on, and this leads us into Charlotte Flair. She was talking backstage to Alexa Bliss about Fatal Influence. So Rhea shows up. She walks in. Charlotte said that she's getting her hands on Jacy Jayne next week, unlike some people. Talking about Rhea Ripley. Charlotte left, and then Alexa Bliss told Rhea, "It's not you, she's just like that." Okay, whatever. Who really cares about that, honestly? It is what it is. Moving on from that, this leads us into the main event. Well, actually, no. I'm sorry about that. We get a Ricky Starks vignette. So he'll be coming to SmackDown next week. So they basically just killed NXT. Because we just lost Ethan Page, Joe Hendry, and now we've lost Ricky Saints. So NXT is basically done. We're fucked. That sucks. That really does suck for us. And I'm a big fan and proponent of NXT. I don't know what they're going to do now. NXT has no top guys anymore. NXT's been gutted. They've been gutted. And I was thinking that, you could have used Aleister Black and Apollo Crews and other guys, but those guys have been released. So I don't know what you do with NXT. Main event of the evening, which I didn't watch. I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch it. I just saw the finish. So Jacob Fatu defeats Solo Sikoa. The MFT try to beat up Jacob Fatu, but to no avail. Jacob Fatu kicks all their asses, and he just stares at the Usos and told the Usos that he'll see Roman on Monday, and that was it. So I don't care about any of this shit at all. SmackDown was boring as per usual, so it is what it is. Nothing happened on that end. All right. Now that we're done with SmackDown, let's get into these releases. So there were 22 releases, and we'll talk about them, and I wonder where they'll end up next. So let's go with the NXT guys first. So Andre Chase of Chase University, he's gone. So Chase U, they're officially dead and gone. He'll probably end up going to probably TNA, maybe work as a producer. Dante Chen probably go somewhere on the indies. He was in NXT 2.0 for a little bit, and then he got sent down to Evolve. Didn't do much anything there. Tyson and Tyreek, they're gone. They'll probably go to TNA. They strike me as a team that TNA would pick up because they need tag teams. Luca Cristofano, he was the one of the members of Tony D'Angelo's family. So, there's that. I'm also worried about Adriana Rizzo. I'm worried about her. But Luca's gone. I could see him going to TNA as well. Tyra May Steele, she was on NXT a couple of times, and then she went up to Evolve, and then now she's gone. Remember, she had a dream that she thought that she got released, and I guess her dream turned into a nightmare because it came true. I don't know where she'll go. She could go to TNA maybe, or she could go maybe to Hollywood or something like that. I don't know. She might just go back to the Olympics. Malik Blade, Idris NFA, Malik Blade. Remember those guys? So, yeah. He probably will go to TNA as well. Chris Island, I have no idea who that is. Probably an Evolved talent, I guess. I don't know who that is. I'm guessing he'll go maybe TNA, MLW, something like that. Serena Linton, I have no idea who that is. Trill London, he was on Evolved. I could see him going to TNA for sure. TNA needs to replenish the X division, and he's pretty good. So yeah, there's that. And then the last guy is Francisco Prinsloo. I have no idea who that is. I don't know who that is at all. But I'm pretty sure he'll probably go to MLW or somewhere like that, or GCW or whatever. So there's that. All right, on to the bigger releases. Apollo Crews, who he could have been in NXT again. He was there before. He ended up doing AAA stuff, and then he ended up being in backstage segments with Matt Cardona, and then now he's gone. He'll probably end up going to probably TNA. That's where he needs to go. Zoe Stark got released. She was injured, and then she got cleared, and now she's gone. I could see her going to TNA as well. And then Alba Fire is gone. So Chelsea's faction is basically over and done with. You know, Doudrop is still injured, and Alba Fire is gone. Where does she go? Probably TNA as well. I doubt if she'll go to AEW. For what? She wouldn't do much of anything there. The Motor City Machine Guns, they've been released. I could see them going to TNA, and I could see them also going to AEW. If I was them, I would just go to TNA. You might as well. There's no point in going to AEW. There really is no point. Because Tony Khan would just use them just to wrestle the Young Bucks, Edge and Christian, and FTR, and then that would be it. I would just prefer the Guns to go back to TNA and end their careers there, and they'll probably end up being put into the TNA Hall of Fame at some point. Santos Escobar, he's now gone, so they got rid of him. That sucks. That sucks. Basically, he's injury prone. I could see him going to AEW or maybe TNA, but probably more so AEW. The Wyatt Six, the entire faction got gutted. So Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, and Eric Rowan. They'll probably go to TNA. The entire faction strikes me as a TNA faction, and I think TNA would be the best place for them to go anyway, because they would do very, very well in the Undead Realm stuff for sure. That would be great. Aleister Black and Zelina Vega, they're both gone. That sucks. It really does. Aleister could pop up in AEW again, but I don't see the House of Black reuniting. And whenever Buddy Matthews gets back from injury, he'll probably want to do single stuff just like Brody. And Aleister's not going to really be world champion in AEW. If he were to go back, he'll just be in the middle of the card. If I'm Aleister Black and Zelina Vega, I would go to TNA. They need talent, and I think Aleister Black and Zelina Vega would be great additions to TNA. They have a lighter schedule because Aleister Black is injured. I mean, his back is basically killing him, basically. And I think it would be best for him to go to TNA, him and Zelina. And that would be great to have them there. And he could be a main event guy in TNA. He really could. It's a smaller promotion, but they would do very well there. They're really good. They really would. Aleister's been there, done that with both AEW and WWE, and he got fucked over by both. So in my opinion, there's no point in going to AEW again. There's no point. People are like, well, it's just like Andrade. It's like Andrade's younger than Aleister. He's like maybe 8 years younger than Aleister. Aleister's like in his early 40s. Like between 40 and 42, maybe 43. It's like, no. Like, Aleister doesn't have a lot left. And I think Aleister and Zelina would do great in TNA. And then the biggest one of all, Kairi Sane, which is insane because she was just in a storyline with Asuka. They have been telling the story for about a good while with her and Asuka. We thought they were going to give that a payoff, but it never occurred, and now she's gone. I could see her going to AEW and also working for Stardom, and I think that would be where she ends up. So, you know, there's that. But SmackDown was boring, as per usual. And these releases, they should land on their feet. Again, most of these releases strike me as people who should go to TNA. The Wyatt Sticks would definitely fit in TNA. Same thing with Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. Kairi Sane more than likely New Japan. Not New Japan, Stardom and AEW. Santos Escobar probably AEW as well. Apollo Crews and Zoe Stark and Alba Fire TNA. So I could see TNA picking up a good portion of these talents. And they need talent. They really do. So I wish all these guys and girls the best. And they'll land somewhere. But what did you guys think of SmackDown? And what did you guys think of these releases? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.